Hello everyone, Mondevu here, back with Minecraft of all things. I don't remember if I got the chance to upload the video that announces that I was doing a Minecraft series again, so if that video has come out before this one by the time I upload this video, then here it is, and if it is not, surprise! So I've already got a few mods installed. I wanted to do a modded series. I know I tried to do one of these early on, but I also tried to do like 5 of these because I was so into it at the time. And Minecraft is one of those games that, as awesome as it is, in my case at least, you need to regularly take a break. So here's the mods that I've got installed, besides obviously Minecraft Forge, which you need to play mods. We've got Biomes of Plenty, Mr. Crayfish's Furniture mod, Dr. Zark's Mo Creatures, and it might be Zark, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. The Ruins mod, the Serene Seasons mod, and the minimap. Well, a minimap. Alright, so we are playing on Minecraft 1.12.2 because I needed to find a version of Minecraft that was compatible with some of the mods I wanted to do and make sure the mods in turn were compatible with each other. So far so good. I did some testing, not extensive, but enough to see, hey, this is working, hey, these are spawning. So I've already got a game set up, so we're going to go into this. And what you're hearing in the background is, of course, the copyright-free music that I found. Some of the tracks will have information that I'm required to put into the description of my video, which I will do. So just be aware of that. Okay, so just real quick, before I get into it, I did not build this house. This is part of the Ruins mod. It did not come with the glass or the doors or even the extra torches on the walls. I did that part myself. I also came down here. I was in creative mode when I did this. I came down here and made a storage area. That, as you can see, is on the extensive side. So I've got like all my end and nether stuff here, complete with a portal. I've actually made the other side of the portal safe to go in and out of. This is the stone storage area. I've got a little storage area for wood. I say little, but then you see how many different types of wood there are in this with some of these mods. Most of the wood in this mod that's going to be different is going to be from Biomes of Plenty. And the other is from Serene Seasons. And then I've got an ores, a unique ores, I should say. This is basically a mod ore room. That's very odd to say because I've got the Minecraft ores up here. And this is kind of where I'm storing those. Now, even though I've made this whole area with creative mode, nothing's in any of these. Like, nothing. Like, I'm starting the actual game, you know, kind of on my own and stuff. Like, I don't even think I made a bed. Let me pop back up here. I don't believe I even made a bed. But I've already gotten a whoops, and that's why you should have probably made the water, you know, a little wider. But I've already made a waypoint here with the minimap for getting back home. So this will prevent things like getting lost. So with that said, I know a good bit of daylight has already passed for me gabbing and also for me making like 1 or 2 final tests when I started this. So off we go. This is part of the Biomes of Plenty mod. I don't remember how many Biomes of Plenty adds, but it adds a lot. It adds a whole lot. And I enjoy it because that kind of adds to the exploration of Minecraft. Now here we have a snake. I don't remember what kind this is. It's not happy to see me though. I've always liked the way it's animated. Like, despite being blocks, it still slithers like a snake and whatnot, so that's kind of fun. That's from the Mo Creatures mod pack. Mod pack was to meet mod. There's always an easy way to see what biome you're in. Just tap F3, and we are currently in a steppe. And there's an elephant over there. So the first things first, I'm going to go ahead and get the tools that we need for survival. Now, I haven't touched Biomes of Plenty in a really long time. So, even though some of the biomes I'll kind of recognize and be like, oh, hey, I remember these. Ooh, okay. Wow, that's kind of loud. That's just a little loud. Let me find... Is that just loud for me, or is that loud for y'all too? I'm not sure. I'll have to find out at the end of the video, but just in case, let's... You know what? Let's take blocks down to 75. There's no speech in here. Here. You know what? Just in case this somehow affects something. Well, yeah, just in case this affects like me, I'm gonna go ahead and. Okay. Well, I can't test it yet because I'm not hungry, but yeah, okay, that's still plenty enough. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I haven't played with Biomes of Plenty for a really long time, but some of them I kind of loosely some of the biomes I kind of loosely recognize and enjoy. So it's like, oh yeah, I remember this biome. I think I've seen that one. That one's pretty. So I'm a fan of any reason to explore. I love to explore in my games. Not that I'm against, crafting and building and stuff. I like doing that as well. I like the whole idea of what Minecraft presents. It's, a giant sandbox. You can do whatever you want with this game. I mean, you could do it before mods, but you could do it even more with mods. So, even though this is kind of an extension of my Minecraft for Wildy series in that sense, as she is the one who expressed an interest in, I'm being completely backwards here, but oh well. Who expressed an interest in seeing another Minecraft series from me. I'm going specifically with mods that I have enjoyed. I'm not doing, any specific mod showcase or anything. I'm not blindly reacting to a mod. I'm at least loosely familiar with every mod that I'm playing with. And doggone it, I just want to chop down a tree, man. Like, I have to build this tree in order to chop it down. That's the problem with some of the trees. And okay, you know what? I'm going to take some pine wood here. We're just going to go ahead and... Yeah. Because one of the things I'm going to need is an axe anyway, so let's just go ahead and do this. Because I'm going to have to chop my way back down, so. Scroll. Oh, geez. Sorry, something funky was going on with my mouse there. It was not wanting to scroll the way I needed it to scroll. Oh, hello, lag. Really? Let's see if this trick works. Ah, it didn't work. Oh, no, it's working. Yes. I will get you yet, and you darn well better be the last block. Because I am tired of climbing this tree. Get down. Get down. But yeah, the complaint I had with the music, finally. Sheesh. The complaint I had with the music you're hearing now is it wasn't good for the long dark because it's bubbly and happy and bouncy, and the long dark is all about surviving in the harsh winter. Minecraft, I think, can handle this kind of music, although it is a little on the loud side. I'm probably going to have to... I need to turn that down. So hold on just a second, folks. Alright, there we go. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you guys too far throughout the video. Okay, so we've got our first little tool here. Let's go ahead and make the rest. Let's see. And I'm only going to start with these two because these are really the only two you need to start with. We all know this. I don't know why I'm making one of these. I have one in there, but oh, this way I've got one on the go. This is actually from the Ruins mod. There's going to be a mob spawner in there, and of course loot. That structure way over there is also from the Ruins mod. We will be checking these out, but first I need, of course, the right kind of supplies. So I'm going to pop in here so I can get the right kind of supplies. Let's see. Let me make sure I get the right. See, hang on. So that's a pickaxe, a shovel, an axe, a sword, and I need enough for a hoe. And of course for a... Well, no, I don't need one for a furnace because I have that at my base. I have tons of furnaces in my base. There we go. Okay, so now we can go ahead and get that going. But yeah, I remember I wanted to create something that was at least loosely similar to one of my favorite mod packs when I first started getting into mods, which was... There was a mod for... Oh, I don't remember exactly what version of Minecraft it was for. Still alpha, I do believe. It was still an alpha version. But it was called the Yog Box. And it just had a lot of really cool stuff. It had the Seasons mod in it. It had whoops. That's not what I want to do. Thank you, weird lag. It had Mo creatures. It had okay, the lag. I might have to get rid of this background video. I think that's what's causing it. Yeah, it had the Seasons mod, it had Mo creatures, it had a dungeon mod. It wasn't Ruins. I don't believe it was Ruins. It was another different one. But it would create, ruins for you to go explore, which I thought was a heck of a lot of fun. And then it also had, it had Seasons. It had a mod called Millionaire. Now, I considered adding a mod like that to this set of mods that I was going to be playing with, but ultimately I decided not to, because here's the problem with Millionaire. It's a fun mod, don't get me wrong, but there's one glaring flaw that seems to have not been fixed in every single version, and that hello cat. Oh geez. Thank you. Sorry, he climbed up the back of my chair and was making me lean backward. I do not have shears, so we're going to have to kill the sheep to get, hopefully, we'll need to find a third sheep so we can get some wool, because I need a bed. But yeah, Millionaire has one glaring flaw. Oh, whoa. And that is, okay, so Millionaire is a mod that came out at the time before there were even abandoned villages in Minecraft. Because if you've been with Minecraft long enough, you know that there used to be villages, but they weren't, they weren't inhabited. They were just empty houses. It was basically free shelter at the time that they were introduced. I need to find one more sheep. So, because of that, Millionaire came out before that. It added villages to Minecraft that came with NPCs. Word! Okay, that's enough. That's a goat. Okay. I'll get into goats later. I'm gonna, whoop. Okay, this is the part where we need to get home. We're just gonna go ahead and do it. Oh, hey, there's a sheep. Let's see if I can get it real quick. Come on. Yes. Okay, get away. But yeah, the problem with Millionaire, it created villages that came with NPCs, and the whole way you could interact with them, apart from them adding quests later, is, I think at the time that I played, you basically grabbed supplies for them so that they could expand their village. Now, on the one hand, you had to grab almost all of these supplies, so it was not an easy thing. It was not an easy task, not by a long shot. It was no easy task. Nope. Nice try, everybody. Okay, aim. There we go. So it was no easy task to do this. I don't have a place to store food yet. You know what? I have a miscellaneous shelf way at the end. That's where I'm gonna put it right now, because that is the one thing I did not think to do is to add a chest for food. Oh well. I have one berry. That's something. Oh yeah, that sound is much less obnoxious now that I fixed it. But it would, on the one hand, it was kind of difficult with Millionaire because you had to find all the supplies these people needed for their village. So on the one hand, it wasn't really all that great because it was an addition. It was a little too much of a challenge because you were required to get entirely, of course. You were required to get entirely too many things like these, and like I don't mind the idea of having to go and get the supplies to expand a village. I liked that, and I liked interacting with it and seeing what new buildings came up, and how that changed the layout and watching them build these buildings. It was fun, but in addition to requiring you to get everything. Although I think that also might have depended on the difficulty. I think on easy it was a little, well, easier. Ow! Rude! Rude! Yeah, that's right, burn. 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 There we go. Okay, so we gotta go find some food and some coal and stuff. I'm gonna go check out the... Whoop. I see you in there. Don't think I don't see you in there. I see you in there. I'm gonna go this way. But yeah, it wasn't just a matter of having to get so many supplies when you're already trying to make sure you have supplies for yourself. The biggest flaw with Millionaire, and I'm sorry, I know I've been beating around the bush trying to get to this point, but I wanted to point out some of the things that made it good as well, for people who want to check it out for themselves. The Millionaire's biggest glaring flaw is if you built anywhere near a village, like if you were within a certain radius and you got the supplies needed to expand that village, they would expand into your space regardless of whether or not you were there. They had all the villages had a preset space that they would build in, but you know that space wasn't clearly marked. So say this is your house, and the village spawns like the very corner of the village spawns right here. If that village expands and it happens to go out in that direction, it's going to build through your house. So that was one thing. You had to maintain a decent distance from the village if you wanted to help it expand. The other part of this problem, and this one I know has never been fixed, because every time I've ever played this mod, on every version it has this flaw. How far down is that? Okay. You could say you were playing with cheats, because that's kind of what we were doing here. We're playing with cheats because I did all that in creative mode. Now you can see them clearly in survival mode. You fly over an area to get a quick view and explore, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, this is a jungle, sweet. On your way back, suddenly you would get a huge lag spike, and there would be a village. No big deal at first, because hey, we get a millionaire village. But then you notice there's 2 villages next to each other, closer than what would be recommended. So like, if the heart of their village is at my home there, and the heart of the other village is here, whichever one you support will build into each other. And that's how the whole mod was. The villages would spawn on top of each other and build into each other. So it really kind of made it pointless in the long run. You know, I mean, I don't mind. I love the idea of Millionaire. I still do. I think the idea of Millionaire was a great mod, but the execution was not good, because this one glaring flaw of it building into your space and building into, you know, the space in one village, building into the space of another, when that's not what the purpose of the mod is. You know, it's such a huge glaring flaw that it just took the fun out of it for me. So I didn't bother to, and so even though that was included in the Yogg box, and I did enjoy it, once they started building into my space, I was like, nope, and I moved myself out onto a patch of water in order to avoid having my house built over. So that's why I didn't include Millionaire or similar mods into this one. Plus, when you add, in my experience, when you add a mod that does something with villages and NPCs, that kind of becomes the primary focus of what you're doing in Minecraft, because you know you want to see how things work with this village, or how things work with one village versus another. Another one of my favorite village mods, for example, is Minecraft Comes Alive. I think this is a brilliant idea, because it takes the testificates and it turns them into NPCs that you can interact with. Oh, cool, we get more bones and arrows. Bones and arrows. I need to do something about these vines. This is going to drive me nuts. These vines were not this low when I first found this place. And I have kind of a hatred of vines for this reason. It's because you can't really control them. You have to just get rid of them. Like, I liked the decorative idea behind vines in the beginning, but then they just got to be way too much. And you know, if you run through vines, it really does slow you down. Like, it's subtle, but it slows you down enough that few seconds you might have needed to get away from something suddenly becomes all the difference. You know, when you're trying to escape. So I'm not fond of, I'm going to take one of these out and use it as, here, look, this is the food box. I don't know why it's way down here, but it's way down here. I think my original plan was I was going to have a whole other storage room for food, and then I realized, oh, I missed such and such ore, and I don't want to have to dig back this way, because I think there was a cave back there, and I didn't want to have to build through all that, because it was a pain in the neck. And stuff like that. So I was like, screw it, I'll just figure out the food later, and then apparently I never figured out the food. Excuse me. But you know, if I can find potatoes, that's usually going to be my go-to. Anyway, we've got experience with this. But yeah, that's kind of what happens when you play with mods that, you know, invest so heavily in the NPCs and in villages and in village management, is that becomes your focus. And I don't mind that, but that's not what if I'm going to play with more than one mod like I'm doing in this series, I want to be able to focus on all of the mods, not just a few. Alright, I'll go ahead and do this. It's not the full 16, but that's okay. There we go. And hey, look, now I can go and start storing some of this stuff. Let's see, cobblestone. This is pine wood. Pine wood, I think is no, it's wrong room. Pine wood is in here and way down the back somewhere, I think. Let's see, pine wood. I'm not sure if that's pine wood. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no. Which one is the pine wood? Okay, so hang on. Here's all the default Minecraft ones. Those two are from Mo creatures, so going this way. Nope. There we go. Here's one way we can tell. I can just put a torch in front of it. Nope. Nope, none of these are red enough. Okay. I want to be certain because the shadows are slightly playing tricks on me here. I think these are the two that I'm contending with. Nope. Yeah, here it is. This one. Yay. Okay, so maybe I should go creative and just put more lights on the floor. That may or may not help. Let me test that real quick. See, game mode. No, creative. And this is just long enough to test. Where's the light I want to use? There it is. Does this actually help? Yes, it does. Okay. So, like, on the one hand, I didn't want to put lights down on the floor because I like this look. But if I'm going to need to tell the difference between some of this wood, I might have to do that. So, I'm just going to go ahead and do it real quick. Because, like, at first it was just lights to keep out mobs. But now it's lights to see what the frig I'm doing. At least in this room. I'm probably not going to do it in the other room because I don't think I'm going to have any problem telling the ores apart. Because the ores are all so different. But the wood, yeah, I definitely need it for this room. This room specifically. Ah, wrong. There. Okay. Yeah, so it's a little bit samey, but that's okay. I can actually see the wood. That's what I need to do. I need to be able to see the wood. But yeah, the Minecraft Comes Alive mod. It turns the testificates into NPCs you can interact with, and like to the point that you can marry them, you can have kids with them, you can take them on adventures with you, you can have them do chores like farming, mining, and that includes like farming animals. You can have them go hunting. And it's really cool. And then, you can, get your kids married off to other NPCs. And I think if you play on a server, a couple players can, marry each other and then have an NPC kid. So, like, the whole dynamic of it I really enjoy. But it becomes the focus of what you do. Like, when you build your house, you build it to include, your partner and, your would-be family and all that. Say you want to, build a castle. You suddenly do that with these other people in mind. Ooh, free farm. That's cool. Let's get the free farm. Excuse me, Mr. Elephant. I think that's an Asian elephant. Nope, that's an African elephant. The ears are too big. Eee. Okay, this will be nice. And I'll probably even replant some of this because that'll come in handy later. I am eventually going to expand out on this step and make my own farms because we've got enough space. But I am still going to go ahead and replant, some of these here too, just so that there's, kind of some backup. That's right. That's the one thing I haven't done is plant anything yet. Of course, I haven't farmed any grassland yet either. So I got a lot of the achievements and whatnot when I was doing creative mode because I was placing furnaces and workbenches and, getting items for getting some of the ores to put on display for this is what I want this to be for. This is what's going to be stored over here and all that stuff. I really don't know why my chests are on the mini-map. That's a little weird. But I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Alrighty. The other NPC mod I used to play with a lot was called Simucraft, and I really kind of like the idea behind it because it combines The Sims, or at least the idea of The Sims, with Minecraft. Like, you can still go out and do Minecraft things, but then you also help the Sims, move into their houses and stuff. But it becomes a little bit more like Millionaire in that sense because you have to get the supplies for them to move. I don't know if they interact with each other the same way that the NPCs in Millionaire and Minecraft Comes Alive do. But I do know that with Simucraft, you have to get absolutely everything. Like with Millionaire, there was usually a little bit of wiggle room. Like they would need, say, 500 cobblestone. Okay, well that's, on the one hand, that's easy because you know where to get cobblestone. But like, with Simucraft, it got down to the point of if they needed, like if their house design had an item frame in it, you would also have to get the supplies for the item frame. If it had, you know, an anvil in it, you would need to get them the supplies for the anvil. So it was just too much. It was too much. So, and you know, it had its own currency system, which was both cool and irritating. So it was entirely too in-depth for that. So I decided not to include any mods like that in this series. It's just going to be some of the mods that remind me of ones from Yogbox that I really enjoyed, and I'll talk about others that I enjoyed but will not be touching upon. Okay, for just a minute I thought that was like a chunk error, and then I realized those are clouds. Okay, so we are going to have to get some more food here to figure out where I'm going to go hunting at. Oh, wow, cool. We have a white ostrich. Getting these to spawn is a pain in the butt. I have I'm on a server with one of my friends that we take it down whenever we're not using it, and it's been down for a while because we've been playing other games. But on the server, we have the 1.7.10 version of Mo Creatures installed, and I was building a zoo on it. My zoo is almost done. It's almost done. And trying to get the white ostrich to hatch was just a royal pain. Let's see. Looks like this might just hit the ocean, which I'm not particularly interested in hitting the ocean at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to this pillar here and get some iron so that we can make, hopefully there's enough iron on here that we can make some armor. And then we'll start exploring some of the ruins and start venturing out more. And then I can do things like, you know, build the farm and whatnot. I might do that part in creative mode, but most likely not because, I mean, we don't need all the food. I might want to just so I can showcase the food that comes with some of these mods, because I think there's additional, I know there's additional food with Mo Creatures. I'm not sure about seasons. I know seasons affects the crops. But I don't remember if there's anything about, but I don't know what all food is available in Biomes of Plenty, for example. So that's why it'll probably be more like showcasing food and testing food rather than, you know, just being like, I only want to have this one kind of food for the sake of efficiency, which, knowing me, it'll probably be baked potatoes because, you know, it restores the most hearts besides meat. And unlike meat, I don't have to breed animals to get more of it. Like I can just grow more, which is one of the many reasons I like the baked potatoes in Minecraft. Oh, I am going to want some redstone, because one of the things that we can craft with the seasons mod is a season clock. And I don't just mean the kind of clock you get to tell time. I also mean like a season sensor. Sensor, that was the word I was looking for, not clock. But to do that, I need a season clock as well. So let me see. Let me make sure of how much iron I'm getting so that I know when to stop. But with the season sensor, it'll tell us what season we're in. Oh, that's right. These can only be mined with an iron pick. Whoops. Okay, never mind. I'll skip some of the redstone for now, because I forgot. Herpader. Oh, it is just about time, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.